Hello and welcome back to our channel at Two Goths in a Coffin. I'm Amari.
And I'm Jude.
And we are doing a video a little different from last time. If you don't know what we did last time, we did a live reaction to the season 3, episode 1 premiere of Inread Vampire, the Vampire Lestat. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But we're doing it different for this one and for a few of the others. We thought about doing like live reactions to every single one.
We thought about it. It was like, this is going to be a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
And also, we didn't do that for season 2. So I'm not, no offense, I'm not going to do more for this season than I did for season 2.
Yeah. So this time we're just gonna do like discussions per episode up until I think we're gonna do a live reaction for episode 5 and then like the finale.
Yeah.
All the ones in between we'll just do like a little discussion. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing here today. Is for episode 2. And I guess we're just gonna chat.
Yeah. Episode 2, Toledo.
I'm so used to like the long, very romantic names.
That the fact that it's just like,
this is the city we're in right now. And I'm like, okay. But
it's just like,
so
next stop.
Next stop, Toledo.
Ew. You know you've not made it if you're performing in Toledo. You're not even performing in Cincinnati. You know? That's not even like a top tier Ohio city. Anyway.
Yeah.
So this one was written by Jonathan Ceniceros and Kevin Hanna, and I did some research because I want to know, because I knew that Jonathan had written other episodes, but I wanted to double check. It seems like he writes the second episode of every season, because he wrote episode 2 of season 1, and he wrote, I co-wrote, everybody mostly co-writes, and then he wrote episode 2 of season 2 and also co-wrote episode 5 of season 2. And then Kevin Hanna also co-wrote episode 2 of season 2 as well. So they were like, get these guys to write this one together again, I guess. I don't know how successful that team up was. I feel like
I really liked episode 2 of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll get into it. So I feel like I want to be
how
like,
how to structure this.
I was gonna say, do we want to start with what worked and then go into what didn't work, or do you want to start with what didn't work and then get into what worked? I feel like one of those conversations is gonna be longer than the other.
I guess we're gonna start with what worked.
Okay. Full disclosure, I feel like this is not like the most like a lot of people are divided on this episode.
Yeah, it's a very divided episode. People rather really
I feel like they're either fine with it or they
hated it. Yeah.
I messaged Amari after I watched it and I said, I gotta be for real, I wasn't a huge fan of this one. And I rewatched it today to kind of like help solidify some feelings on it. And I know we're trying to talk about things that we did like, but I think we can segue into it from this. I'm like, overall, I feel like the issue here with a lot of the bits was execution. Like, I don't necessarily dislike if the writing in the vacuum of the Auvergne scenes, I don't necessarily think is bad. I think the execution of them did not do any favors. You know what I mean? Because when I rewatched it, I'm like, I don't necessarily have a problem with the Auvergne scenes only taking place in this one room at this one table, because in a differently executed like episode, it would contribute to the claustrophobia of this house. The fact that he's stuck at this table, the fact that he's stuck in the seat and has been for like basically 3 decades stuck sitting here. Like, as time is passing and time is passing and nothing is changing, and he's wearing down as it's going on, and basically like says in the episode that he wanted the wolf to kill him until he realized he didn't. Like he was worn down
Right.
by the fact that every time he tried to like leave, every time he tried to like better himself or be something that wasn't a member of this family, it would get shot down. Like I don't necessarily think that that was bad, and they used verbatim like in the post wolf scene, like Gabrielle slash Gabriella's like monologue about her fantasy, and I think it that bit did work for me in this scene. Like, I just wish that there had been more breathing room before to help hammer home the claustrophobia, because I feel like when we're talking about the gothic themes of incest, especially in like this manor in this aristocratic family,
Mm-hmm.
that is an added element of claustrophobia. The desire is too close, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to push that, and like, you know, in the trailers we had seen before the season came out, we will see more of the Auvergne. We will see more of little Lestat, like the child and stuff. Like we're gonna get more of it, but I just feel like the
That
way
we know of.
that we
We
know
can
of,
assume, because our, not to like start skipping ahead, they cut out
they did
scenes.
cut out, but there's at least 3 scenes that they showed in several trailers that we haven't seen yet. So I'm assuming that if they kept putting it in, it's because it's in they're keeping that one. So we'll see. We'll see.
I hope.
And so basically, and of course the CGI wolf is bad. It's not as bad as I remembered because but it wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
I basically, and I'd said this to Amari, and this is a niche reference, but I hope that some chronically online people will get it. But I was like, it looks like DePiglio from the Chris Fleming skit. And it's not DePiglio, but it's less DePiglio-esque than I remembered it being. It's a little Jim Henson, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This wolf. They're like, we don't have wolf money. But yeah, I think basically when I was watching it, I was like, in a like if this was, and also I feel like some of the direct, I know I'm still talking about things I don't like when I'm talking about this, and we said we're going to talk about what we do like, but I was like, I don't mind how this is done, it's just the execution issues. I feel like there was weird direction given to the actors in this scene. Like certain lines are delivered in this bit in a way that I personally would not have done them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like the scoring. I'm going to be honest. RIP, I love you, Daniel Hart. I didn't like the music in this
Mm.
sequence. I thought the music really undercut it. It was like this Wes Anderson ass sounding music for this scene, and I did not like it. And there's a bit where they like are, when like Lestat's father is like break his legs, and they start playing like this over the top French military music, and it doesn't work. It makes it goofy and undercuts what's happening here. It should have been either no music. I think no music would have made everything more unsettling and off-putting, and you could feel the tension, or it should have been different music. I think the music really wasn't doing it any favors.
I don't have any comment on that. I don't think I paid attention enough for that piece. I don't think I caught it. Usually I do, so I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
that goes
and
into why it didn't work. I don't know.
because I did write down some things that I liked. Like I do find when they're like, the monk is like, I see goodness in your son, and his brother says, are you a good boy, Lestat? And Lestat says, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I did like that bit.
I think there are things underneath a lot of other things that are good, that like reveal things about Lestat, but they're obscured by
The inscrutable
this
direction.
a lot of other a lot of other stuff, which
Yeah.
I guess we'll get into this a little bit more. But yeah, so like the problem for me is that the things that maybe would have worked were just undercut
Mm-hmm.
by things that made it, I don't know. So I
Yeah.
couldn't really tell you a lot about what I enjoyed about a lot of these scenes with
Yeah.
Lestat because
I do feel like
it, I,
I do feel like the two most successful scenes in this episode are the Louis monologue about seeing Claudia, and his
yes,
conversation with Daniel, because I do find Daniel's conversation about trying to call his daughters and they're not answering,
yeah,
and then Louis, shares this as well, and it's really I liked that bit. It brought me back to the old days,
I
but
know.
I also thought that. Because you were saying Lestat bits, you don't know which ones worked and didn't. I still think the conversation between Lestat and Gabriella in the Italian restaurant with the piano before we get
Oh
the
yeah,
thing,
that one
that was a
did.
very successful scene to me.
That one did work pretty well for me as well. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
My
and
cat's in
also
this
that's
room.
because like that one also revealed something about about both Lestat and Gabriella
Hmm.
without all like the constant barrage of like jokes and bad
Yes.
humor. It
Yes.
was just
It
out in the
was.
open and revealing. However, I do still hate that like all of the little flashbacks were so quick, and I don't know if we're going to get more of those
Hmm.
flashbacks. I would like to see them expand, and so like it both worked, but also there's like little, still bits of them like I don't know how I feel about it though, because are we gonna see more of it? And I think
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like the what I liked about the book, The Vampire Lestat, was all of his like little past bits from the time he's with his family until through Paris.
Hmm.
Um, and those are the things that are interesting to me. I know we're gonna get we're gonna get a little bit more because we've seen the pictures, we saw like the trailer for next week, so we're gonna start getting into Paris. But like even just like with his family, I and that those scenes there, they're so
Yeah, for
you didn't really get
sure.
to sit with it.
Yeah. Um,
I also
but I
was
also
oh
liked.
go
I
ahead.
don't. I don't know. I feel like yeah, it was short, but the flashbacks in that scene there, thought worked. I don't know. I felt
It's
like
not that I
it
don't
was
think
more
they worked,
artful
but
there
I
than the
wanted to
way it worked earlier.
see. I want to see more though.
We're
That's
gonna see more.
better. Okay.
Like, I'm just saying, I'm like, we're gonna see
Yeah.
more. That's not the issue that I have. It's what they've done with what we've seen so far. Like, that I think could have been done better. And I had talked to you, before we started recording, like, when we were just discussing the episode one on one. And I was like, I would have rather. It felt like they just put that in there because they were afraid that people were going to get antsy that they hadn't seen it yet. And I just wish they had held on to it because I don't know, I feel like there were two. I keep saying adding a more, but I rewatching it, I also thought the scene of like Lestat and Gabriella talking immediately post bus was also interesting and worked, like when she's the scene that leads up to her messing with the robot. But like when they're kind of making up this, there's a lot that's revealed in that conversation as well, because something else that I thought was interesting about it is that you have this narration where Lestat is trying to make it seem like he's being very blasé about it and like very like nonchalant about his relationship with his mother, but we see what we see in their actual interactions, which is if he was nonchalant about it, he would be like, yeah, that's my mom to like everybody in the present day. But they're like, we need to come up with a new story, which means
Mm-hmm.
every time they meet up, in order to throw people off of what's going on, they come up with a fake way that they know each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because they're like, how did we meet? Like, like they're basically like coming up with a new way. And like, I think part of that is to circumnavigate the the fact that they understand that this is not, and like Gabrielle even says, like when she brings up, she's like, we really shouldn't like be doing this. um And part of it is because I think for on Gabriella's side of her, she never wanted to be a mother. So she's trying to like
Mm-hmm.
override her relationship with Lestat to be something other than his mom. But then when they're having the conversation, he's like, it always circles back to it though. It's like you want to make these relationships where you're not his mother, but at the end of the day, that's what you are. And like you can't escape from it and it's there. And so I did like that conversation because of what it revealed and like how it kind of comes back to that. Like because it also contradicts what Lestat says at the end when he's like, well, it's different when you're vampires, but it's not because at the end of the day, that's his mom and they can't escape from that, the way that they are related to each other.
Also, it's as we see that it starts way before they're vampires
Yes,
as
because in
well.
that before he's like literally, when at the beginning when they're talking about the wolves and she starts like touching and like the servant is uncomfortable, it's like it it maybe it's different when you're vampires, but it started before then.
Yeah,
Um
I do want to address something that I've just seen from folks that people are like, I don't know why they're making Gabriella like this. She wasn't like this, before they were vampires. And I'm like, that's not true. I have feelings on how some of this is like being portrayed.
mhm.
'Cause I do feel like they need to tone down on the humor with some bits. I get that maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I suppose that they're trying to make Lestat. He's a little bit in denial about the
Yeah.
reality of it, even though we see that he kind of tries to turn into something else. He's like, and what if we didn't have sex or whatever? But still, like, I don't know. There are certain points where I'm like, I think you're taking it overboard with
Yeah.
the humor and not taking it seriously. And you can make a character who is kind of in denial and like using humor and using other things to kind of deal with it and process it without it literally just feeling like a joke, like you're using it as a punchline every 2 seconds. So
Mhm.
I have feelings on that. Despite that, I see people who are, like I said, I see people who are like, this didn't happen before, but I'm like, it literally did. And there's like two main instances. And just because like they weren't physical in the book, they are still a complete crossing of boundaries
Yeah.
that you should be having with your son, with your 20-year-old son. The conversation that she has, she already had that conversation. That's not
It's
appropriate
basically
verbatim.
verbatim and
Yeah,
also in the same moment.
I
Yeah.
literally pulled it up just to confirm. I know, I was excited. And these are the ones that I have like highlighted because I was like, oh, I don't think this is a normal conversation with your son at
Mm-mm.
all. But yeah, like it's verbatim at that point. And then she also goes a few pages after that
Oh yeah.
and says something else that's crazy. Where is it?
Is it when she
She refers to him as like her organ that she
doesn't
doesn't
have?
have. That is not an appropriate thing to say to your fucking son. Okay,
No.
that just because it's because it's not physical doesn't mean that's not incest already.
But also,
So
yeah, I don't know.
I just want people to I need people to understand that like Gabriella has never been a good person. She has other
No,
things too, along
absolutely
with the
not.
incest, the
The
ecofascism, racism. There's a lot
yeah.
going on with her. So like,
And they do touch on that in this episode as well, how like she's like on board for the great conversion, which like reminds me of in the book when she's having this conversation with Lestat about like, what if we basically all rose up and killed every human being, and then we like had this like queen goddess that we could all like feed off of and live in like this hellish utopia. And Lestat's like, what if we didn't? He's like, no,
maybe not.
I don't want to do that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and so I think another thing, because like on that note, something that whenever people are like they're basically writing a new character, I disagree. I think we still see like core stuff here too. Like in my opinion, because like we still have that when she's just kind of like, I see Lestat as basically the man of me who gets to go out and do stuff. That's what she does with the wolves, right? When
Yeah.
she's just like, they're like, well, what can we do? And she's like, go out and be men. Go out and be a man. And that's
Mm-hmm.
Lestat immediately gets it from the table and goes and does it because he does what she can't, you know? Like he
Mm-hmm.
does the things that she wants to do. Um, because like they're in 18th century France. Um, she doesn't have power, and that's why when she gets turned into a vampire she's just like goes crazy with it because now she has the power to not have to play this game anymore, you know.
I do
um
think something that's interesting, which is like not really something that's like discussed in this episode or anything, but just like something that I couldn't help thinking about is how the difference in between what freedom looks like
mhm,
for Gabrielle as a woman, but since she's a white woman, it looks a little different than what Claudia experiences, and vampirism doesn't end up freeing
no,
her at all. And I mean, also the same thing, you know, between Louis and Lestat, and that's why we had so much of that friction.
yeah,
But it is something I thought about as like I was like thinking about her character a little bit and how like it's a lot of her to be who she has been wanting to be. But I'm like,
mhm.
Claudia didn't get that.
Yeah, like there's all these axes because also like on top of it Gabriella is, I won't say like she's older, but she's like in her 50s, like or
Mm-hmm.
like late 50s. um and of course she's white, and of course she came from money, so there's already all of these like things in her favor. And um Claudia is stuck as a teen, uh
Young black
young
teen
black
girl.
teen girl. um so that's all of that is against her.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then I think I'm trying to think because once again, the things that I liked were just these kind of bits. I think these are the ones where like it kind of expanded on what I thought was interesting about the end of the previous episode, like the dynamics that were going to come up to play in this, because we hear, you know, that Gabriella apparently showed up post Mardi Gras murder, and
Yeah, that was
Gabriella showed
interesting.
up post 1973 bad phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so those are two more times where she shows up when he's suffering, when he's in pain, because he probably thought that Louis died again and it was a Nikki 2.0 thing. And like Gabriella started spending more time with Lestat post Nikki's suicide because she
Mm-hmm.
was afraid that he would follow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do
I
find that
think
interesting.
I think the other thing that I did enjoy, which once again I'm still just like a lot of it was undercut by the humor, which didn't work for me. But
Hmm.
I did like seeing the reflections in the different bits of things that Lestat has experienced, and then how
Yes,
it then shaped how he moves forward and how he ends up treating his own family. And it's
exactly.
like it's a mirror, from the dinner table and the control
Hmm.
at the dinner table from
You
like
could directly compare that to when he's like shouting at Louis, you know, at the dinner table for not, you know, blame the teacher, you know, not the student. It's
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
very similar.
Yeah, there's that. There's the whole scene with him and you know his mom Gabriella, you know, going to a strip club together and to go like eat and
Hunt.
then hunt. Yeah, and Lestat's like, you know what would be a good idea? What if I bring my daughter Claudia to Lovers Lane
Yeah.
and you know
And like,
to hunt?
to be completely honest, that is a form of covert incest.
Yeah,
So it's he's not break, I mean, of course he didn't get physical with Claudia.
yeah.
but there is still those
Thank you,
elements of like
sis.
covert incest, and like, you know, when she's like the him saying that she's not his type is also really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Um and of course he's being flippant. He's of course like, I don't know that he was actually considering it, but it's just the playing along with it at all is very
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable, and you know about the loosey goosey boundaries he has with his mom. Um
Yeah.
but yeah, for sure. And there's a there's so many, because like we this man does not know boundaries. Like the way that he like constantly pushes and pushes and pushes when he wants something, despite what someone else has said, he will keep pushing. And then we see his mom do that with him when he's like, I've set a boundary, which is that I don't really want to have sex right now. And then she keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, um, until they have an intimacy that in the previous episode he ranked above sex. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then he makes it seem like he's like, we couldn't help ourselves. And I was like, she cut your neck. I don't know. There's things here that are interesting to me. It's just the things that didn't work was the writers trying to basically do their version of what we do in the shadows.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like if they wanted to do that, it needed to be a little bit more balanced. I also feel like,
They needed
I don't know
comedic
if
writers, because these people are not comedic writers. They're
y'all
very good at
are
drama,
great
they're
at
very good at
drama.
horror, but they're not good at
So
comedy.
good. Like, God, it takes me out every single time. And so this is just, it doesn't work for me. Like, it feels overly cheesy, overly cringy.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to feel a little disrespectful
It
because
starts to very,
why
yeah.
are you, I'm like, why is Gabrielle, if you want to have Lestat using humor or using whatever to kind of keep himself from confronting what we have to, we have to get you to confront because it's not
The
good. It's not
elephant in the
good.
room.
um
We have to address it.
it can be a little bit more balanced, like, because like, what does Gabriella fondling golf balls as she approaches do for like him, like deluding himself that he's not a victim, not a victim at her hand, like that doesn't like,
Yeah.
and it ruins, I feel like it kind of cheapens the complexity to Gabriella's character as well, because it's just like, I don't know, it's not working for me. And people will say, oh, you're just uncomfortable with it. I'm like, no, I am okay with engaging with these things. I
Mhm.
want us to engage with them seriously. And I feel like maybe it'll pan out later because I've heard how Hannah's talked about it. And so that's what and I see like the
Yeah.
little threads, but it doesn't, it needs to already be working already in this
Going,
episode.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah,
it
for
might,
sure.
be that like the full season at the end, I'm like, overall it was successful, but so far it's not working for me. And so in this episode, it's just not working for me.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
I'm also like, when we're talking about like humor and the humor that doesn't work, the way that the lawyer Christine Clare talks,
Oh
I
my God.
can't stand, because I feel like they want us to laugh, but she's just a lot of times leaning into whatever microaggression she can grab at the moment. Like
Right. I
calling
know.
D a cocaine whore bucket and a drug mule is crazy.
Right.
And then calling Louis' lawyer Grace Jones and Gucci is crazy. And I'm not laughing at it because you're
It's
racist.
weird. It's weird. Like,
It's not this, and like, I don't want to say it's not the same as Daniel's microaggressions in the previous 2 seasons, but it's not, you know? Like, it's the same thing where they're trying to have this, like, blunt crassness, but it doesn't hit the same when it
I
all,
guess I
you know what
think
I
it's
mean?
also because like with Daniel, there's a equal reaction to his like behavior that reminds, well, it should remind the audience that because a lot of people are just like, oh, he's so funny, and I'm like,
No,
there's a
it's
reason
not
why Louis
funny.
reacted that way. there's so there's like a
There's a reason
confronting
to put him
opposing
in
force that's
timeout.
like highlighting that
Yeah.
what Daniel just said is like non-right, but it's just like it. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
Lemuel does like say something to her, but it just,
But he
I
just
don't
says
know.
insult accepted as a compliment.
Yeah, insult is more than an insult.
Yeah. Like, you know, we literally have when Armand and Louis teamed up, and, you know, Daniel was trying to white splain racism. They're both like, that's not what he said. That's not what
Yeah.
we're saying. And then when, you know, Louis was giving his memory and Daniel immediately like shot him down, and Armand's just like, that was a really vulnerable moment he just shared with you. And you just chose to make like a quippy comment. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, they would address it and be like, why are you do
They're
your
so
job and listen.
unfirmly challenging it, and
Yeah.
with this, it's just like,
It feels
okay, I
like
guess it feels
we're
like
just
they
supposed to
really
laugh
are what
along.
exactly, and
And I'm
that's
not gonna
what.
do that.
Yeah,
So
I
and like
also wanted to like that scene more because I'm like Louis and his boyfriend, and you
mhm.
know they look
I did like
beautiful. They
their
look.
banter with each other.
I do like the banter. I there were a couple of lines in it that didn't work for me,
Yeah.
and also
Yeah.
I don't the whole emotionally unavailable. Louis does not talk like that. That's
No.
not. I know that this is through
Lestat's
Lestat's,
version of Louis, but if I
but
was Lestat remembering Louis, I would have him throw in 5 more adjectives because it's like
right.
Louis always saying things in the
He's
most
so
flowery way
pretentious and
possible. He's
yeah,
purple
exactly.
proses all over the place, you
Like
know?
this is a guy who
Purple
we
up his
have like
prose.
memes. We have memes and videos of
The
because
Mario
like,
Kart,
waxing
everybody watch it.
poetry, like just describe to use one word, he uses like 20 words, like.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, he's emotionally unavailable. I'm like, okay, you
We
sound
literally
like
were having
a
a conversation that it would have felt more Louis-like if Louis was just like, you know, he gives me what I need and I get him what he needs, and it's as simple as that. And it's just
yeah,
like that's a more Louis way of saying what he needs to say. And
right.
it's like
It's too on the nose, and
it's
I'm
too
like,
on the nose because like the humor bits that did work for me were the things that did feel like genuine authentic Louis rage baiting when he's like, oh, we only need one ticket because he doesn't like your music.
yeah, that was fun. I'm like,
And then he's like, I do like your merch, which that very meta
yeah, we seen,
reference.
yeah.
And you know,
Also, why didn't we get to see the scene of Louis touching him? I guess Black people aren't allowed to touch each
no, we
other
get to see
barely.
Lemuel touch Louis, but we
Louis
don't
not
get
allowed
to
to
see
touch Black
Louis
people.
fully get touched. But also, yeah, okay, here's something that's because when we're talking about this is something that drove me crazy and has me like, I don't know what the reason is because this episode, and people can check me if maybe other episodes have also been this length. This episode was 46 minutes long. Typically, the episodes are 50 minutes long. They cut out 4 minutes from the runtime of this episode, and I don't know why. I don't know where it is.
Like we
These
could use
episodes are
that time to
typically 50 to
expand some of
54
those
minutes long
flashbacks.
about. And I'm like, so that's about 6 to 10, I'm rounding around 5 to 10 minutes roughly shorter than the standard Interview with the Vampire episode. And I don't know if it's because they're cutting this one short to make another one in later longer, or if they just cut this one short because someone at AMC was like, we only have money for 46 minutes. Which doesn't make sense to me because you already shot it, so just leave
That's
it
the
in.
other thing. I'm like, we need that budget to go to creating the show, not to
Not
all
the
the
sphere.
marketing. not to, yeah, exactly. Like,
We didn't need it. We didn't need all of the collabs that happened. We didn't need any
right.
of it. What we needed was more than a fourth of a wolf.
Cause
What we
like,
needed was better hair. What we needed was okay, we talked about this, that I was like,
oh
I
yeah.
didn't like the French accents. Also, I didn't like the. Why did they cast that actor for the teenage Lestat? He doesn't look like either baby Lestat or adult Lestat. That's a random guy who
I would
suddenly
have rather it
assumes
just
like
been
a short.
Sam pretending to be a
I
teenager.
honestly, if they had just put Sam in like, and I don't know, maybe use VFX to iron him out a little bit, I would have preferred that over that
Right.
guy. I would suspend my
No
disbelief
offense to
and be
that
like,
guy.
because also his voice was so high. I'm like, you're not teenage Lestat. Anyway. But anyway, so I would have preferred if they were all just if because those scenes were so short, if they were speaking French for those scenes, because considering the fact that Lestat has a stutter and Gabriella doesn't, she's not from France, and we can see in the scene with the piano that she doesn't like French, that like having to speak this language, if she's not very good at it and Lestat is having trouble speaking French, that would be another thing to draw parallels with them, about them not being able to communicate in the same way with the other people in their family, but maybe they can communicate in their own special way with each other. And that adds
Hmm.
another point, like, of them being on the same team in this family. But instead everybody was doing their best worst French accent with the bad wigs. It didn't work for me, and I don't understand the choice, because last season we had a 15-minute sequence of just French, like when
Hmm.
Armand is doing his flashback, like it worked, so like just do it again.
Hmm.
No, because then if you do that in season 2 and then you don't do it in season 3, it's like, why were they speaking French and not speaking French again when we've already established that they speak the language of the country they're in, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So
And y'all
I
are
don't,
filming in Canada.
just
Y'all
grab
got
some Quebecois like actors and throw them in there. I know
right.
the French people from France will be like, that's not real French,
I
but I
know.
don't know, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. You're not worried about y'all.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Because I'm just like, if you speak a different language, I can't judge your accent. If you're
Yeah.
speaking English, then I'm like, why is that your French accent? Whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just how I felt.
Yeah.
I
Um, I still have a couple other thoughts about the
absolutely go back.
what?
I said absolutely go back into it.
About the scene with the lawyers showdown, because I don't know, I feel like there is a clear absence of, it's very obvious that they no longer have like the black writers in the room a lot of the time, I feel like, with just with
Mhm,
certain choices, um and I also feel like I know that it is in Louis' nature just a bit to be oh so forgiving of these men, and he is often the one to be like, I don't know, the kind of allow things to be smoothed over a little bit. But I don't know,
mhm,
I feel, one, I don't like the comment about Sam Barkley from like Lestat of all people. Who the fuck do you think you are saying anything
yeah.
about that? And then having like, I don't know, Louis employ him anyways. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But especially having Lestat be the one to comment on it, I'm like, you literally can't say shit. And while Louis kind of like calls it out, it doesn't really mean anything to me when just we find out that they have been talking and are trying to like repair the relationship. I'm like, so what's the point of calling Sad out on that? I don't know. I just feel like there's this, Louis has just found out about all the different pieces of the trial. I know it's
Mhm.
been a few years, but I feel like there's not enough what's the word? What do I want to say? I just feel like Louis' response to a lot of these things with these various different people and where he's at doesn't really reflect what happened.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, I don't know if I'm on board where we are at with him
Mm-hmm.
on certain things, but at the very least, I am happy. Well, kind of. I am a little happy about, like we said, the scene between him and Daniel. I don't love the fact that
Yeah.
he is basically becoming the Talamasca's little agent.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that his search for the Fang Gang was more motivated purely on his own instead of the Talamasca being like, we need a guy who can take care of these people with fucking racist ass fucking, you know what? I don't respect his name either. If he can't respect Roshi's name, then I can't. I don't have to respect his name.
Yeah, his name is stupid anyway. Yeah,
Like,
I will say, like, in that thing when, like, Lestat does bring up Sam Barclay, Louis does say, well, Sam didn't get on a boat and Sam didn't memorize lines.
yeah,
And
that's what
then
I'm like.
that's,
He briefly like points
yeah.
at it, but like it feels kind of meaningless when in the very not the very next scene, but in the scene with Danny, he's like, well, me and Lestat have been trying to like, fix things already. I'm like,
Well, he
I
was
wish
saying
we
they
had.
were fixing things before the book came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. So like, I'm saying all before that, they have been on a path towards kind of mending what they have together.
Mhm.
And I wish we had kind of seen more of that journey instead of just like, and I know that's been like torn apart now again because of the book. But
Yeah.
once
I
again,
honestly think that journey just looked like both of them pretending like none of it ever happened. And then the book comes out and they can't forget.
but then what are like, I'm gonna have to see how it's gonna turn out then
Yeah.
later. Like, I need there to be more of some working out
The
of
thing that I don't like
stats.
about them talking about with the book is that Louis cares that it hurt Lestat's feelings.
That I hate that.
That
I
when he was
hate
just like,
that.
it hurt him. And I was like, then he shouldn't have done any of that stuff.
I hate.
Like,
That's also
okay,
part of. That's also
well, if
part
it
of the
was
thing
gonna
where I'm
hurt
like,
his feelings, maybe he shouldn't have done any of that stuff in the first place. And then he wouldn't have had his feelings hurt when the book gets published.
that's also part of the reason why I'm like, I don't think no black writer would let y'all be saying all this, but because like it doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me because why is
Yeah.
he as forgiving as Louis can be? Don't have him talking about, oh, I feel so bad. Why would he? Why should he?
Yeah.
Why should he? Why should he
Like,
feel bad?
what does he have to feel bad about? The
First of
fact
all,
that
he's
he
not the one that put it out, but
no.
he did have a conversation with this man, with Daniel, because he needed to be able to fully process everything that he experienced, and part of what he experienced was at the hands of Lestat. So like,
Yeah.
don't
I think
you?
people for some reason forget or choose to ignore the fact that in the book Interview with the Vampire, and that applies to this show as well, Lestat is the antagonist.
Yeah,
Like, he's the antagonist of that book. And he, despite also being the love interest for season 1, is also the antagonist.
yeah.
Just like
Two things can be
Armand
true.
is the love interest and antagonist of season 2.
Two
Like,
things can be true.
two things can be true, especially in a gothic story. So, like,
And you don't see people being like, oh, I mean, there are a few people, as we've seen recently, but for the most part, people don't feel the need to be like, Louis needs to apologize to Armand for anything or blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
So why does Louis have to apologize to fucking Lestat? He
Yeah.
doesn't have to apologize to any of those men.
When he
Fuck
said that, I
him.
was like, who cares? Like, I don't care that
You hurt your
his
feelings?
feelings hurt by
I
getting
don't
rid of
give
the
a
book.
fuck. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
Especially because, like, we have Louis say that in that scene, and then literally right after that, we have Gabriella say the line where she's like, I see why you gave him a daughter, and I see why you took her back. and Lestat gets like about it, but then we see him kill his family. So it's not like killing family is out of the question for Lestat. He's killed family before.
Even though his family members may have deserved it. I just it didn't feel right. There's bits and pieces of the Louis parts that didn't feel right, even though I did enjoy the conversation between him and Daniel.
I also liked the fact that he was mean. A lot of people were like, he was being too mean. I was like, he should have been meaner.
I
love
know.
that when Daniel's trying to like, I don't know, connect with him about the potential vampire bond, he just goes, no, sounds weird.
Like, all these white men got a lot of audacity. I'm like, y'all need to back up. Y'all pissing me off.
I will say,
y'all think you are?
People have been saying that they think that Jennifer Ely is not a good actress, and I'm like, you gotta watch something else, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the accent's hampering it too much for you.
Saint Maud or something.
Watch Saint Maud.
Saint Maud is good.
It's a very good movie, but I felt like the most Jennifer Ely line delivery was also in that scene when he's just like, and we were having such a good evening, and she goes, and now we're not. And I'm just like, that's such a Jennifer Ely line delivery, so I enjoyed it a lot. She's like, it's, yeah. But yeah, and then also like the end of the episode. Also, if we're gonna talk about things that Raglan James needs to be killed for, the way that he phrased it is Claudia spent a few nights.
I wasn't done talking about him. Okay, I was not done. No, that's no. You go ahead. Say listen, I am gonna beat his ass as well. Like, he became the new annoying fucking racist white man of the week, I guess. In this one, he's like, I'm gonna mispronounce Rashid's name, even though like.
His name's Rashid.
His name is Rashid.
It's not Rashid.
It's not Rashid. I'll kill you. Who the fuck do you think you are? And then once again, we have another white man completely minimizing the stuff that Claudia has experienced to egg Louis on. Like,
because he tries multiple avenues. At first, he's like, they tried to kill Lestat, and he's like, but they didn't. Stop. Louis is like, not my problem.
I'm pissed at him right now.
He's just like, and then they pull out that, but I'm just like, I don't know.
We gotta take that man out.
We gotta do something about him.
And I don't, and I need to also get my man Real Rashid away from him. I'm a little sad about Real Rashid right now because you know he is still part of this, and he's betraying Louis once again. But
to the buffet at a strip club.
He did look good though. He did look good. Let's talk about all the people who looked good. And
okay, I need to know why he seems to wear glasses outside of his Dubai Rashid role, but he didn't like. Why was the working in Dubai a contacts only job? Like, why is he like glasses like once he's back
it's
out?
It's part of his disguise.
The glasses or no glasses? It's like a
reverse Clark Kent.
If I take off my glasses, no one will know it's me. Despite the fact that they did in fact immediately. I did like Louis' reaction when he saw Rashid. He was like, hello. And then Louis being like, so your real name is like Rashid? Like,
also, why is Louis calling him Real Rashid? I was like, where are you using that?
Real Rashid's name is really Rashid. And I'm like, yeah. You know.
Also, Dr. Farid looked good. Okay. He was looking good. I also was a little jump scared by Daniel because I had somehow missed the new Daniel timeline and everything.
Because we didn't watch the extended trailer, the Roland Jones cut. I watched it, but I guess I kept blinking every time it happened.
Nervous.
People then started putting GIF sets of it on Tumblr, and I was like, ew. Who is that? And they were like, it's Daniel. And I was like, ah!
I somehow missed it. So when I saw it, I was like, Well, I was like, what the hell's happening here?
But I will say,
I'm
some
sure
of
Eric
us,
was excited.
yeah, Eric was like, I get to be naked on screen. I did when I did first see the gift set. I was like, dance that real, and it's not. So we'll see. I mean, there's still a couple more episodes. There's
Damn,
still
Lou could
time.
have been a thing, but then Daniel ruined it some more right now by betraying Lou once again.
Once
They
again,
were making some progress, talking about their daughters together, and that was really sweet.
and then he had
Um,
to turn around and sell
turn
him out.
around.
Yeah, it's
I'm trying to.
it's it's basically it felt like they were shoving a lot here when
Yeah, the pacing was also
the
not
pacing was off.
great.
Also, I don't think we talked about it. All of the scenes with the bandmates feel like a waste of my time.
Even though I love you, Salamander, I love you dearly,
For
and you're
sure.
my favorite. You're I guess I he.
What?
Sorry,
What are
I'm
you
just
trying to
laughing.
say?
I'm just laughing already, but he's so cute and how he's just like he had his ready with his book. He was like ready to talk about Armand. He was like, oh,
He
he
is
knew
an
all the
Armand warrior in
references.
there, yeah.
He was
Well,
so
he approximately had the references.
he
He
you
called it the
know.
little cup instead of the petit coup, which
I
is
mean,
different
he's
words.
French. He doesn't respect the French either, so that's fine.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, he's a real one. There was a person who was also saying like, if Armand was actually in this episode, there'd somehow be less Armand than there was in this episode. Like he was mentioned in every scene. It felt like
That is true. He was mentioned a lot.
the Lestat scene that was about Armand for a good chunk of it. They were talking about Armand, and then the part of the Daniel and Louis conversation that was about Armand, and then like
Salamander.
Salamander bringing up Armand every chance he can get, which basically is me. I'm just like, this reminds me of Armand. Like literally, I had made a post recently about the Lestat being like, it's different when they're vampires, but literally we saw that it happened before they were vampires, and it's like this kind of reminds me of like in the book The Vampire Armand, where Armand is like, I lost a lot of my memory to my love of vice, and then like 2 pages later is like, I lost a lot of my memory before then, and I'm like, so which one was it? Is it because you drank too much as a teenager, or is it because of the trauma?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, these two are spiritually brothers, so they borrow from each other's playbook
Yeah.
a lot.
But yeah, despite my love for Salamander, I'm like,
I would sacrifice Salamander for more important scenes. I would sacrifice all of them. Like the band in the book is like a sentence on a page, and I think there's literally so much stuff they need to get through with Lestat's backstory. I think they shouldn't have made it be a tour. I think it should have been the same thing, one night only, and this all could have been in production of that show, so that you're not traveling, having all these concerts, whatever. We could still have some music, and we could still have him recording, and we could still have him doing
yeah.
that. But then you don't have to have the tour bus stuff. You don't have to have, all this and the other. You could have it be maybe in
We
one
didn't
place while
have
they're
that
recording
much
it.
of the whole rock star thing in
Yeah.
the Vampire Lestat. It's like a little bit at the beginning, a little bit at the end,
And I
and
get
then
why they need to do the present storyline, because they did
right.
introduce a bunch of characters that we like, that we need to follow up on, because
Course,
it
and
would be
I am
really, yeah.
glad for
But
that.
I
But
just
like, I
feel
feel
like
like
there
it could
needed
have
to be other
been,
ways to do it, because
yeah.
they could have built up hype. Like this whole thing could have been like, let's stop building up hype for the big concert that could have drawn a bigger crowd, because maybe they do have a big social media following for this guy who's pretending to be a vampire and whatever, and everyone wants to go to the show for the gimmick, and you then have the thing, and you have the Akasha thing. I think you could have kept that as the same in the book, where it's going to be a one night only Halloween show, San Francisco, meet me there type thing. That would have still worked, and then you could have, I don't know. You don't have to have you don't need to spend concert money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We don't need them,
Mm-hmm.
in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. I know it's probably
Little less,
controversial.
I know, probably, but I mean, I would have been happy with a little less concert money and a little bit more
Wolf money.
Wolf money for sure. No, because we didn't complain enough about that, because that really, that is such like a big moment
Hmm.
for Lestat at the like beginning, once we start getting into his backstory, that I
Yes.
felt like it should have been meatier. Should have been, we should have seen more of it, and
Hmm.
we should have seen more than just one wolf
Kind of.
jumping out at you
Yeah.
for like a split second. So
I
like
feel
you
that way too. And like, because we were talking, it's something that I find really interesting about, like, the wolf thing is obviously very important. It's where Lestat chooses to start his story in the original book. Like, that to him is like a hinge, a hinge moment for his whole life. And there's a bit in Tale of the Body Thief, I believe, where he's talking about the wolf thing, and he's like, I was supposed to die then, and I didn't. And because I didn't die there, the devil got his eye on me. And now
mm-hmm.
I can't die. I'm not allowed to die anymore because I missed my chance. And now I'm being chased by evil and being tormented, basically, because I didn't exit when I was supposed to. And
Mm-hmm.
the wolf thing is crucial to that. Like, the wolf thing is where Lestat thinks there's like they make a reference in the first episode to the movie Sliding Doors, which is kind of about like, if this decision didn't happen, your whole life would be different. That's kind of his sliding doors, you know what I mean? Like, that is the thing for him. If he had died with the wolves, like, obviously his life would be over, but like, this is the thing where like something was moved and now everything else happened for him, you
Right.
know. So they needed to spend more time with it. And like I said, there's Gabriella and Lestat stuff about it that I think is interesting, but the fight, it like, because Gabriella setting him out there and him saying she wanted me to die, basically, and also him going out because she wants to do this thing but she can't do this thing, obviously. So it's like, in one way she's dying, so Lestat should die, and she can't do it, so Stott needs to do it. And that's that, like, he's kind of like a phantom limb for her. He's kind of like an extension of her, and that part's interesting. But we have to see the violence, we have to see the physicality
I
and the near
know.
death of it all, that Lestat, like, and in this version, Lestat going out to die and then fighting for his life, because Lestat, I think, his whole life has been fighting for his life, and so we see this, and like, it's a very important moment for him, and it kind of got glossed over. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
you're totally right. It's a really big moment, and it shortened in a weird way.
I'm just, I'm not here for it. But there's no but, actually.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think what else.
I have notes. Let me see what I wrote down. I wrote that I noticed that Daniel still has a tremor.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, when he's like directing the cameras in the concert, he's holding something and his hands are still shaking.
I have seen some people talk about
So
that,
he's stuck
actually.
in that stage of Parkinson's forever.
Ah, shit.
Oh yeah, I had written something because I think this goes with like my feelings on execution and direction, which is like, and I could feel it a lot in those early Alvarin scenes, which is uh Sam Reed in an interview says that he typically does 3 versions of every scene. He strikes me as a Meisner guy, where he's just like, I got to do every version of it that I can. And he talked about in some season 1 interview that he was like, he tries to do every version of the scene that he can. And sometimes directors are like, I think we got it. He's like, can I do another one? And they're like, fine. But he said that for this, he typically did 3 versions of every scene: a very grounded one, a bigger one, and then an over the top operatic one. And Roland typically chose the third. And I was like, maybe you should have chosen some of the others. Because, like, the delivery of, like, when his mom tells him she's dying and then he leaves and he, like, screams mother didn't work for me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I get that that was probably, like, the big emotions version, but I think we could have toned it back, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
It did seem a little.
And the same goes with a couple of Jennifer's line deliveries. It's like, why are we yelling? We could say this. Let's speak. Let's
Oh,
talk.
I think that was actually, that reminds me of one other thing. We've already kind of touched on it a little bit. But to go along with like all the extreme like cringe humor that we're getting from this, and once again, I know that people are like, oh, well, you know, it's just like this is Lestat's like version, so this is why it's like this. But I feel like perhaps I don't. Lestat is a little cringe, you know. He's a
Oh
little
yeah.
bit of a loser, but I don't think he's like. When I was reading the book, I felt like there's a little bit more. He's not as like eloquent as like Louis
No,
is, you
but he has his
know. But
moments.
he has his moment. He's an actor. Like he can. I feel like they're missing a little bit of a je ne sais quoi to make him so extremely goofy. And I feel like there is like
Yes.
a balance. I'm like, this does not feel fully like Lestat to me. Actually, I feel this is maybe a little too exaggerated. I feel like
Yeah.
there needed to be, you could have
A
stepped
middle
it back
ground.
just like a little bit more. Like
I definitely
Lestat
feel the
says,
same
like,
way.
well, I mean, like Louis, you can't tell me that the Lestat who said everything in that first episode in Interview to Vampire season 1 is this exact same, you
Or
know,
the balcony
Lestat.
scene. The
The
balcony scene
balcony
of
scene.
season 1.
And
Where's that guy?
I'm not saying he has to be super flowery or anything, but I'm just saying that I think that we could have maybe found more of a middle ground. I don't.
Yeah.
He's not. He's stupid, but he's not that stupid.
Well, it's like I said before that Lestat's stupid, but he's not dumb.
He's not.
Um, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Also, yeah. Oh, sorry.
sometimes I feel like this is almost, if it's starting to feel like what I said earlier, the Thor Ragnarokification of Lestat here.
I feel like there's been a Flanderization of Lestat for sure. As like it's gone on, it's become like this fanon version of him, because like I feel like they feel like because things and I feel like this is going across everything, the costumes, the sets, and the language, that because it's in modern day it doesn't have to be elegant anymore. But he is from 18th century France, which means yes, his language may be more simple at times because he's living in the modern day and is talking to people, but it's also going to jump back sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and it should
You're
be
gonna
this
see
mix
those
of
bits of
things.
Lestat still reflected,
Yes.
even if he's trying to retain as much of like this modern era as much as possible. Unfortunately, you're still gonna get glimpses of the Lestat from back then.
Yeah.
Like even, you know, and obviously Louis hasn't lived as long, but you already get that like with Louis as well, and you know,
Yeah,
just
Louis
like
140
Jacob's
something
like
years old in
accent work
season
and
1.
whatnot. Like you still get glimpses of that Nola Louis, so why wouldn't we get that with Lestat? So I don't know. So that's
Yeah,
also part of the, it's like I can't take it, and maybe it's because I'm already not like a horror comedy fan,
exactly
and the
same.
comedy has to be perfect
Good.
for me to enjoy it, because there have been a few recently that I actually have enjoyed, but like for the most part, cringe comedy does
No.
not do anything for me, and so maybe that's part of the reason why this is not working for me. but I also just think that maybe we've gone a step too far, and maybe we'll dial it back down in the future. But as it is right now, it's
Yeah.
not working for me.
You
So
know,
we'll
part
see.
of me is holding on to the thing where they were like the first two episodes are the goofiest ones, and then it's gonna kind of take a nosedive into the some of the darkest material they've ever done
Mm-hmm.
in the next ones. And next episode, okay, a lot of people's favorite part of the book in the Vampire Lestat is the wolf stuff, is the stuff with Nikki in the Auvergne. And I know some people are upset that they're having it be that Lestat and Nikki met in Paris and not in the Auvergne, but
Well, it
also
sounds. I mean, from the trailer, it sounds like maybe it's just that we're not
they
going to
didn't
get
run
to
away together.
see. Yeah, we're just not. Yeah, they didn't run away together, and we're not going to see them.
But also, we have to
And
remember that Nikki is 10 years younger than Lestat in this version. About. He's younger than him. We have his birth date, and we know Lestat's birth year. And Nikki is a
oh,
lot younger than him in
is
this
he?
version. Yeah, I need to double check and I'll put it in, but we see his little thing, the placard on his little grave thing in the Théâtre de Vampires, and he's like born in like 1767 or 1768 or 1769, somewhere in those years. And Lestat was born in 1760. So Nikki
Okay,
is
can't
younger
we
than him.
can't have Lestat running off with Nikki at
Yeah,
like that.
but I'm just like it kind of means that there there's a difference between they may have seen each other around, but
Right.
there is years between them, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so that makes
whatever.
more sense.
So it makes
Okay.
sense that they would have known each other around back then, and then they run into him. They're like, "Oh, I know you. You're so and so."
Right.
But I know some
Okay.
people are upset that they're not running off together. But whatever, it is what it is. But all that to say, my favorite part where it really starts kicking off for me because I'm a freak and I'm evil is I
What are you
love
gonna
the
say?
Magnus stuff. Then when it really like jumps straight into like the straight up and down gothic horror, him getting kidnapped by basically a Nosferatu, and
It
is like
is.
getting like basically Bluebeard's wifed in this situation here. Like it's horrible and it's
It's
terrifying. It's so
yeah.
scary, and the way it's written like makes your stomach turn, and you feel the terror, and it's so present.
Right.
And there's something about the way that they've already introduced certain things about it in this show so far. The Magnus song is genuinely the one that I like the most of what I've heard because of what it does. And it's almost like Lestat is like the person I've been chosen unambiguously by one person in my life, and it was Magnus, which is crazy to say. But
That's
also
not
it's not great, but
great.
like it makes it coheres with the character, especially like he does in later books bounce back and forth on how he feels about Magnus. And sometimes he's like I was kidnapped by Magnus, and sometimes in other later books he'll say I seduced Magnus. And there's even and I think in Blackwood Farm he interacts with Magnus's ghost and he forgives him and he kisses him, but we can't get into that. But like even in Memnoch the Devil,
Him
like Lestat
and
said that
between
he's
him and
forgiven
Armand,
Magnus. Like he said he forgave him because like he's like I can't find fault. Like basically yes he did some bad things to me for sure, but also he gave me vampirism, and who would I be if I wasn't a vampire? You know, like I do have this gift of vampirism. So can I? His real victims are all the people he killed, so I can't really be counted as a victim, and he has no penance to seek from me because he hasn't wronged me, and that is crazy to say about Magnus, but it is very interesting for how it sits in his psyche and how I don't know. So I love that stuff. It's so messy, it's so complicated, it's very gothic, and so I am excited to see that next episode written by Anna Sri Roy. I'm very excited to see her entry
between
into
him and Armand, I need. I have to do. We have to do something about them, and because they be stressing me out.
stressing you out.
They be stressing me out.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get all of that with Lestat and Magnus, but the fact that he wrote like a romantic power ballad from Magnus's point of view for himself is crazy. And that's why
Not good.
I'm like, this song is crazy.
It's not good. It's crazy.
I haven't listened to the Vampire Lestat songs of my own accord. They're usually thrust upon me against my will, and I don't want to listen to it at all. But that one I did willingly listen to multiple times because I was like, this is genuinely insane. So
Oh my god. Someone needs to send these guys to therapy.
oh my god, if
All
we
of them.
could get a vampire therapist in here.
We got a vampire lawyer. Why can't we get a vampire therapist? One who's explicitly and specifically has studied the weird traumas that that come with being violently turned.
Maybe the Talamasca can source a vampire therapist. I don't know that you can find a vampire who's well adjusted enough for that.
There has to be one. There has to be one.
One
there.
well-adjusted vampire.
There has to be one out there.
I don't know that you can be. I feel like turnings are I would say with the exception of like Madeline, every turning is traumatic, right?
And they just, that's so, that's so
I think
fucked
there's a
up.
non-traumatic turning that's not Madeline's in the book. I can't think of off the top of my head.
That's so fucked up.
Maybe one of the twins. There was one twin that was turned traumatically, but then she turned to her sister, I think. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Maybe Jessie's turning. Jessie, well, that was to save her life. She was kind of dying. Maybe there's no good ones.
Man, we should have had more of Madeline and Claudia so they could be the only ones who...
Is Claudia well adjusted?
Well, I'm not saying... I'm saying that...
Madeline's not well adjusted either, but she's just good at being a vampire, I guess.
I'm more so saying that at least Madeline have like the traumatic turning. Now, Louis may have been traumatized.
Oh yeah, someone was traumatized in this turning. It wasn't the fledgling; it was the maker. He was very traumatized by it.
Someone was traumatized by it, but yeah. So it was too. It's sad that they didn't get to continue on. But yeah.
I was gonna say also we get Armand next episode.
Yes, he looks good.
They mentioned in this one that they unceremoniously killed David Talbot off screen, which is fine with me. Pedophile down.
Take him out.
But that does mean that I feel like, because I had already figured when they introduced Raglan James that he was going to take on any Talamasca-y David Talbot things that needed to be taken on, and then everything else can go to the other old man that we have, Daniel Malloy. So people who were like, I don't think they're going to use David's turning for Daniel. I'm starting to think maybe they are using David's turning or drawing stuff from David's turning for Daniel, which I think would be interesting, even though that turning makes me feel physically ill. We'll see what Armand got up to. I mean, we're not going to see it this season. They've already said we don't. Yeah. But anyway, he said he was turned against. Well, Eric said that he was turned against his will, and so did Assad.
I mean, we kind of figured that. I feel like that's obvious.
Some people were like, but in the book it was out of love, and I'm like, kind of.
This is a different. This is not the same. They've already like. Their relationship already looks and started different.
Their relationship is already starting in a different place, and like, their relationship is already starting with Daniel trying to find Armand, as opposed to Armand being like, "Where'd you go?" Like in the book.
Yeah, like we'll get to that, but it's gonna look different. So just
calm down. Let the tale
breathe. Let's breathe. Yeah. Y'all be rushing. You're like, God, we'll get to it. Let the tale seduce you, as Louis said.
Anyway, I think
Anyways,
that's all I have.
I think so as well. I think I had just remembered something else, but then I forgot it already. So it's too
Mm,
bad. So yeah, that is our little chat for this time. Obviously, this episode didn't really work for us.
no.
There are bits and pieces that could be pulled from it that we liked and are interested in seeing how it comes
Hmm.
together later. But overall, it didn't really work super well.
Yeah.
But excited to see the next episode and see how that one goes. And we know that there's a
I guess I
shift.
see
Oh,
him.
and he's gonna be there. Oh, I think I remember the other thing. I think Armand looks good in his pictures. What do you mean? His outfit's
The
not
little outfit.
terrible. It's
Okay,
not
here's
cute.
the thing, and I'll talk about this more maybe next. But it's a historical silhouette. It's a historically accurate silhouette. It's not his fault that it's stupid. Like it, that's just a silhouette of the time. He looks so fashionable. You're lucky they didn't go color accurate because he would be wearing like a bright green jacket and a pink vest. They put him in a very demure black and tan stripes, but the silhouette is correct. Okay, the silhouette is correct. I know it looks awkward. That's why I hate late 1700s menswear, but it is right. And
I
it's
thought he
also what
looked
he
fine.
wore in season 2. It's the same outfit. If you look, it's the same outfit. It's just he was sitting down and they had him at different angles, so he didn't stand up, so you didn't see how short that jacket was. But they're all, well, Gabriella wasn't there, but
Armand's
Lestat
like,
is wearing the same
poop.
outfit. Armand is wearing the same outfit. Yeah, he was like trying his hardest to forget that Gabriella was there because they hate each other. But we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see Armand soon. We'll see Louis hunt some vampires. Our little vampire slayer.
Going Blade. When Moses Sumney put on the glasses, I was like, why are you going Blade?
Yeah, I
Why is
know.
it giving Blade? Why are you
God.
putting on sunglasses inside at night? Take those off.
He's so real,
Yeah.
man.
I love them being
I
like, I'm like, yeah, because Moses, have you heard Moses Sumney's music? Why would he be listening to the Vampire Lestat?
I hope we at least get a little bit more of him, but I don't think we are.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
maybe
that
he's
was
busy.
well. That's what I guess. That's what I get for wanting Louis to have a man with a real job.
Well, I was gonna say Moses Sumney is busy, but yeah.
That too.
He's like, I can come in for an episode. Ugh.
Oh well.
Anyway. I like how we were like, we're only gonna
Anyways,
talk about it for an hour.
yeah, it was. We didn't push it too much, so it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is our little chat. Let us know what you thought about the episode in the comments. Be
Mhm.
nice or don't. Doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of y'all are already acting up in the other comments. I'm like, dang, can't talk about racism, but whatever, apparently. Well, guess what? I'm going to continue to talk about racism.
Yeah, I don't know if
That's
you know what
our
channel you're
channel
on.
art is. Like, that's kind of our thing. That's kind of the reason why we made this channel, actually.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, you probably shouldn't be here. But anyways, give us those watch views anyways. But yeah.
Make sure to comment if you didn't like it so it boosts us in the algorithm either way.
Stop. Okay. Anyways, no, for real. Thank you for watching to the end. We appreciate it. Comment how you felt like again about the episodes.
Mhm.
Tell me how beautiful Louis looked. And yeah, like, subscribe, whatever, and tune in for next week.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.